disattachment from the world. It means attachment to what Hashem wants, and Hashem wants this world to be a good place. So it's not easy to do. You have to be attached to Hashem, and you also have to be attached to the world because you want the world to get fixed up. And you also have to be attached to yourself, because in order to fix up the world, you have to be yourself happy, whether you want to or not. Happy. So that's the idea of going out of Egypt. Yes. Now the Torah is supposed to be brand new in your eyes all the time. And therefore, every year, the God administration, all right, big day for Judaism in general. And you kept him up also? No. Great, that's not an idiot. That's okay. You can sit here with you. We can sit anywhere you want. It should only be that the room should be too small for people. You can sit over here. Great. Oh. All right. So, and now then the Rebbe said that we have to. I think you were here, right? So the Rebbe said that we have to first of all try to, as much as possible, get into it as much as possible. Number one, on the first day of Sivan, we should simulate what they did back then, namely loving every Jew. All the Jews had one heart. Is it possible to have one heart and love every other Jew? No, it's not possible. But if you really are attached to Hashem, it is possible. Alone you can't do it. But if you just forget about yourself a little bit, think about the Creator, that the same the same Creator who created me, created this other person, my next door neighbor, who runs over my lawn every morning. I can't stand him, right? He won't. His dog is barking all the time. It's driving me crazy. But Hashem created him. So if so, you can love him. You can go and tell him, listen, maybe we can fix up this way so that your dog doesn't bark, but you won't hate his guts and right on about this house. Is it a possible thing to do? A human being can't do it alone, but if you really believe in Hashem, you can do it to attack. That's how all the Jewish people, they got to Mount Sinai, and they got to the desert of Sinai, and they're thinking so much about getting the Torah that they all had unity. This is a very difficult thing. You can learn a million Maimorim, and you can never get to this. The most difficult mitzvah of the Torah is to love every Jew. Because as long as things are stable and they're okay, like a computer or something like that, so, sometimes there's little surprises, but every Jew is different. Every Jew, and then from that, when you love every Jew, you learn to love everybody in the world. And when you try to find something good or bring out the good in everybody, some redeeming thing, and you can't find anything good, so you try to find an excuse for the bad, like you do for yourself, how you excuse bad things. Anyway, that's not so easy. So that's what you have to think about on, at least in that direction. Start in that direction of trying to find something good in everybody. Some, let me say, redeeming factor in everybody. That's the first day of Sivan. Then on the fifth day of Sivan, you have to think about serving Hashem. Na'aseh v'nishma. I'll do whatever you say, Hashem, and I'll think about it later. And I'm sure that by means of doing it, I'll be able to think more clearly and more realistically. And then we get to the big day of Matan Torah, beginning of the So on the day of the Torah itself, we should try to bring as many children and people, women, into the shul as possible to hear the reading of the Torah. These are action things you have to do. Right? You can sit and learn Maimorim about Atzilus and all these others are great. And then afterwards hate anybody. Hey, you're disturbing me. Right? Dog's barking. I'm learning about loving every Jew. Right? Call police. You're Nazi. Right? You're wrecking my I'm learning. Well, learning. It ends up you hate everybody because of learning Torah. Talmud Torah keneged kulam. If you learn Torah, you can be against everybody.
Yeah, what about that?
No, it says Talmud Torah keneged kulam means all the mitzvahs are important, but learning Torah is the most important. It doesn't mean keneged against everyone. Even though there are a lot of people that say that. They say, V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself. And they say, love your V'ahavta l'recha imu kamocha. Love your neighbor if he's like yourself. If someone, yeah. If the person is like you, then you should love him. But if he's not like you, doesn't do Torah, doesn't do mitzvahs, doesn't do the same customs as you, doesn't shake as much when he davens 5 times a second, 10 times, not for me. The Torah can be the book of hatred because the Torah makes differences between people, right? I keep Shabbos, he doesn't keep Shabbos. We keep Shabbos, but he doesn't put on tzitzit. I put on tzitzit. Maybe we put on tzitzit, but he doesn't put on tefillin. So they have all these differences there, right? But there are. So the differences, people don't like other people that are different than you. They're threatened. Let's go. We'll move from Bapasha so it's understood simply. We did this yesterday. We went quickly. We'll move in Bapasha so it's understood simply. And no saf, in addition. See where we are? We're in the beginning of the paragraph. No saf. Good? Yeah, but I think maybe you're on the wrong page. It's on page Shin Tzaddik Zayin. Shin Tzaddik Zayin. You see where we are? What, you have it folded over? No. You have it? I don't think you have the right page over there. Sure, it is. That's right, over there, yeah. That's where you are? You have it? But actually, you have where we are? We'll move on Bapasha, so it's understood simply the no self that in addition. For the preparations we said before, that they're relevant, to the days, Chag Shavuos, that are before Chag the holiday of Shavuos. Okay, Akiva, with me?
Yes.
Matchil, beginning Rosh Chodesh Sivan, from Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Tzorech Liot has to be, right, if the days before Shavuos are important, how much Mikol Shechem, how much more so, Mikol Shechem, how much more so, Ishtadlus, efforts, Yuchades, special. You don't have a pencil? Okay. Anybody have an extra pencil for this? Fantastic. Oh, very nice. Ishtadlus, there has to be Ishtadlus. What does Ishtadlus mean? Effort. Make an effort. Yuchad, a special effort, Penogeya, in regarding L'inyanim, to the things, to the, how do you say, the topics, Hashaychim, which are relevant, Chag Shavuos, to the holiday of Shavuos, Atzmo itself. If the things before Shavuos are important, how much more so the things which are on Shavuos are important. Matchil, beginning, Nishtadlud, making an effort, Shekol Echad Ve'echad, that each and every one, Israel, of the Jewish people, Anashim, Nashim, V'tah, men, women, and children. Yehiyu will be the base HaKnesses in the shul. Tav is a child, young babies, a baby. Tav is a baby. Yehiyu will be the Beit HaKnesset in shul, the aid at the time, Kriyat, reading, HaTorah, the 10 Commandments. Ukumadubar, and like was said, like the Rebbe said, we talked about, come upon me many times, said that this, Shebakol Shana, that every year, the Chag Shavuot, and the holiday of Shavuot, Nitna was given, HaTorah, the Torah was given, Michadash, was given brand new, Al Derech, like, Kamo Shahaya, it was. Bepam, in the time of Rishonah, the first time. When is this that you can actually sort of feel the revelation of God? That was when the Jews were standing back there 3,300 years ago. When can you feel this? On the holiday of Shavuos. When on the holiday of Shavuos? Mitkaleh, it is revealed, the Ikar, mainly, Behakriya, when it's read, Asarat Devorot, the 10 Commandments. When the 10 Commandments are read, that's the time when you can really think, hey, this is really real stuff. This is not messing around. We're not just reading a story. We're reading something that really did happen. What did happen? Hashem gave the Torah to the Jews. No other religion or nation or philosophy even made such a story. It's even above science fiction. God, the creator of the whole universe, actually gave a book to someone, right? If somebody else made it up, they'd say, well, where's the book? Why didn't your parents tell you that story? Why didn't some? Right? Actually, and who gave the book? It wasn't given by Moses. It was given by the creator of the whole universe. That he's still creating the universe right now. So it must be that book is as infinite as the creator of the universe is. It's an infinite book. If it's infinite, it means that it's the same thing right now. And that revelation that was then was an infinite revelation. It must be happening right now. But when is the window to feel this? On the holiday of Shavuos. When on the holiday of Shavuos? And the reading of the Ten Commandments. Maamar, huh? Mainly. But the whole holiday of Shavuos is a special time. Now you have to realize these revelations are things that really, in a way, you can't take standing up. It says that the Jewish people, when they heard this, they all died. They couldn't take it. The revelation was too much, they couldn't take it. So if so, this is a revelation which is above our personalities. It's too much for us to take, but it's there. Moses was able to take it. Moses was, but this was such a powerful, it was like being in the Holy of Holies. The same revelation that was on Mount Sinai was the same revelation in the Holy of Holies. You ever hear that before? That's why in the Holy of Holies was the 2 tablets. The same revelation as Mount Sinai. So in some ways, the holiday of Shavuot is the holiest holiday of the year, because that's when we got the essence of the holies, right? The Kohen Gadol, the high priest, could only go once a year, and Yom Kippur, you go into the Holy of Holies. What was in the Holy of Holies? The holiday of Shavuos, the revelation of the Torah. And it was always there, all the time. If the wrong person went in, or even the Kohen Gadol went in at the wrong day, right? Or even if he went on the right day and had the wrong thoughts, it was just too much, he couldn't take it. Wouldn't be able to take it. Kamaimar is like the rabbis say, Maamar Anochi Hashem said, God, Israel. So we can feel it a little bit on the day, but it's an immense reality that's hard to take, but that's what it was. Maamar Anochi Hashem said, God, Israel, to the Jewish people. What did God say? Quote, Banai, my sons, quote, Kama. He's addressing the Jewish people. Banai, my sons, Hayu Korim. Hayu Korim means read. You should be reading. Read. At HaParsha Hazot, this section of the Torah about the giving of the Torah, the 10 Commandments. Again, Banai, my children, Hayu Korim, you should read. At Parsha Hazot, this portion of the Torah, namely the 10 Commandments, the Kol Shana, every year, Va'ani, and I, Ma'aleh Aleichem, will treat you. Ma'aleh, I will put on you. Ki'ilu, as though. Atem, you are omdim, standing, lifnei, before, Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, umakablim, and receiving et ha-Torah, the Torah. Where do you find this? Where does it say this? My sons, read these 10 Commandments, and I'll treat it as though you are standing in front of me on Mount Sinai and getting the Torah. Where does it say? If you look down here, the footnote, it says, Pesikta de Rav Kahana. Say, Pesikta de Rav Kahana is like a Mishnah. A Mishnah, it's a Midrash. Pesikta de Rav Kahana. It's the name, I don't know, it means like Pesikta means sentences or sayings. And it's also brought in Rokeach. In the Rokeach. The Rokeach is a book that's written about all the prayers, the customs, and the particular Rokeach. So that's what it says. When the 10 Commandments, God said, I gave you the 10 Commandments. You want to get them refreshed every year. You want to get your credit card renewed, right? Every year, listen to the 10 Commandments and remember and feel what's going on eternally. 10 Commandments are being given constantly, all the time, but you can feel it on holiday of Shavuos. A little bit you can feel it. Sort of like going into the Holy of Holies. Imagine what would happen if you went into the Holy of Holies. You die. What happens when God forbid, what happens when the Kohen Gadol went into the Holy of Holies, right? He saw something, he heard something, he was completely negated. Right? He just went in. It's not a I feel something and I do I. There was no I. But his whole I was just the mitzvah. He went in to do this mitzvah. But only a human being can do it. Only a Jew can do it. Only a Kohen Gadol can do it. So his true I came out. What he really is. He's a creation of God. He's a Jew. He's the whole Kohen Gadol. It's the day of Yom Kippur. You can be one with Hashem above time, above space, above. He didn't go in for the kick, for the experience, right? It wasn't that he went in, the Kohen Gadol, that he went in because he wanted to have a good time and come out. Exactly the opposite. He went in because he wanted to feel what truth is. And the truth is that I'm just being created, and I'm be created to do Hashem's will. And he felt this. I don't know how I could expect it. The Jews at Mount Sinai, their souls jumped out of their bodies. Right? It's such intense reality that a person can't take it. This is Gam also Me'atamim, one of the reasons al for Gadol, great ishtadlut, effort, the great effort shekol, that you know that word ishtadlut, that call that all Bnei Israel, all the Jews, Gam katania katanim, even the smallest of the small, you will be the Beit HaKnesset in the shul, the 8 at the time, kriyat, reading, asarat divrot, the 10 Commandments. Kamadubar, like we said, kamapami many times, barucha in long length. Olhosif, and now this mimer of the Rebbe is sort of like a sicha, but because it comes right to the point, right? Right to the point, it's like putting holiness in this world. It's the same thing as the 10 Commandments. If you think about it, there's my morim about that. What were the 10 Commandments? The Jews were in Egypt 210 years. They got out tremendous miracles. God split the sea, revealed himself, took them through the desert. 50 days they received bread from heaven, water from a rock. Incredible miracles that there were. We're surrounded by this. Finally they got to Mount Sinai. It was all shaking. God appeared himself. Everybody was jumping out. What did God say? Don't kill. Don't steal. You can just imagine all the Jews, the Jewish people saying, that's it. Right? It's like somebody standing up and saying, I'm going to tell you the funniest joke in the world. Listen, why is the chicken cross the road? To get to the side. They said, what? This is terrible. This is awful. The Jews got out of this is what God gave them. Don't kill, don't steal. Everybody knows that. Don't kill, don't steal, don't commit adultery. Even Eskimos know things like that. You don't have to come out of Egypt to give them these simple things, right? But the answer is no. Specifically in these simple things, right? People can learn Kabbalah, they can learn the highest ideas in the world, but afterwards they can do all the worst things in the world. Because specifically in this physical world, that's where the real tests are. That's where the difficulties are. Right? Those are the things that God was saying these words to people that they want to kill, that they want to steal. You have to tell them, don't kill, don't steal. Who is God giving this to? A nation of holy priests. They all fasted for 50 days, and they didn't do anything, and they were all completely just glassy-eyed and just looking sad, right? And they didn't think about anything about the world. They didn't have any wives, no children, no nothing. They were just like that. No, exactly the opposite. He told it to people who were in this physical world, and that they were in Egypt, and they saw everything, right? And that they got out of Egypt, and they already started complaining at the Yam Suf. They already wanted to go back. They're already making troubles. And God said, okay, listen, guys, I want to tell you, don't kill, don't steal, right? And people all there said, oh, no, not this. Those are the things that when God said them to the other nations, they said, we don't want the Torah. We don't want the Torah. If God would have said, you know what the Torah says? It says that Pnimis, the inside of Adam Kadmon, is connected to is higher than the inside of the internal, the inside of Keter. But the gematria of this is the gematria of that. They would say, oh, this is it. This baby, it's worth getting out of Egypt for this stuff. This is hot stuff here, Whew. This is the Kabbalah. This is what we want. The Kabbalah is great. It's wonderful. It's good, 100%. You should know about all these ideas, really great ideas. But on the other hand, the main thing is physical world, to do what God wants in the world. That's what it means. This mimer is something like that. It's getting right down to actual physical world. Good? Lahosif, and to add on, as we explained, Kamapami many times, Ba'arucha in great length. Lahosif, and to add on, Shayishtadlus, that the, how do you say, the efforts, Shahataf, that even babies, you will be Beit Knesset and Shul, Be'ed at a time of Kriyat, reading Asarati Dorot, the Ten Commandments. Shayich is relevant. Gam also Lahachana, to the preparation to Banenu, quote, Banenu, our children, or Evim will be a surety. How do you say a surety? I'll explain what this means. Or Evim, a surety, a collateral, otanu for us. It says that God, when there's a midrash, it says when God gave the Torah, God said to the Jewish people, listen, I'm going to give you the Torah. The Torah is a very precious thing. How am I sure that you're going to keep it? So they said, well, we have the holy people. We have all the tzaddikim. Hashem said, nah, not good enough. He said, well, we have the prophets. Not good enough. So when we got the elders, what about the elders? Huh? It's impressive, but the Torah is really something. He said, what about our children? I said, oh, that's good. Hashem said, that's good. You have the children, I'll give you the Torah. What? A ravim is a collateral. Like if I'm going to loan you $1 million, I say I want an orev. An orev, it's not really collateral. It's a person who will be a surety for you. What's the word for in English? That he'll take responsibility for you. A guarantor. Oh, that's the best word. Right? Collateral is a thing. So you put up your house or something, a mortgage or something. A guarantor, very good. In other words, I'll loan you $1 million, but how do I know you're going to pay back? Says, well, you know Mr. Smith? Says, yes, he'll sign for me. Says, that's an orev. That's an orev. An orev is a person that he's willing to sign for me. So it says, Hashem said, who's going to be orev for the Torah? I'm giving something really valuable. How am I going to know you? Our children. That's it. Hashem said that's it. So therefore, you bring the children to shul. You figure, what is the child going to understand? It's going to make noise. It's not going to work. Let him hear the words of the Torah, right? That'll begin. You have no idea. It probably will have more of an effect on him than it's going to have on you. The child, right? He's not thinking all these thoughts about where is it, what is it, right? You think, oh, I don't feel anything. I don't know what you're going on. A child goes into shul. A shul. Here's the Torah. Right? Shayach is relevant. The reading of the Ten Commandments, Shayach, is relevant. Gam also to the preparation of, quote, Nenu, our children, or Evim, will be guarantors, otanu for us. Sheyesh lomar, we can say, shekolel, that this includes, Gam also a pirush, the explanation of Orevim. What does it mean, Orevim? Orevim means, like I said, guarantors. Also from the language of ta'aruvos. This includes yesh la'omer. We can say, I'm sorry, I went a little fast. Shekola, this includes gam also haperush, the meaning the orevim. What does it mean, orevim? Guarantors. Here, maybe can you just move your chair over to this table here? Move down a little bit. Yeah, just sit instead of sitting on that table. This table, sit at Hobie instead of this. Yeah, move it there. Yeah. Here, move the books over. Move the books, Akiva, please. Move books. Very good, excellent. This should be our problem. It's wonderful, Hobie. Whoa, fantastic. You pull the table closer to you. Wonderful. Oh, this is good. All right. So Orevim. What does Orevim mean? Orevim comes from the Lashon and from the language of ta'aruvos, being mixed in together. Like how do they say homogenized? There's a better word for it. What's it called? It's called a there's something when you take something and you mix it up. There's not an amalgam. Amalgam also. Amalgam is also that's the word for it. But there's also another word. There's a mixture. Sometimes when you have something, you mix it up. What? Is it compound? Yeah. All right, good. A compound. Milashon taruvos means a taruvos like a compound, a mixture. Shekol Yisrael, that all the Jewish people, mu'uravim, are mixed in zeh b'zeh. Mixed in, what does it mean? That every person has everyone else inside of them. Mu'uravim means they're mixed in. Every single person has a little bit of the other person inside of them. So you need the other person for your completion. Mu'uravim. Every Jewish person is mixed in, every other person inside of them. Ve'orevim, and also the language of orevim, this language of guarantor, milashan, from the language, from an expression of arivos, pleasantness, umetikos, and sweet. Shekol Yisrael, that all the Jews are revim, are guarantors, and they are mixed in, but they're also sweetened, arevim, they're made pleasant, umetukim, and sweetened zeh lezeh, one to the other. That's why sometimes if you meet a person and you can't stand the guy, and it's awful, then you know that he's coming to tell you that something inside of you have to fix up. You have to fix up. You should be able to accept everybody. Not that you have to be friends with everybody, you have to loan everybody money, you have to write. Some people you get along with, some people you don't get along with. But it doesn't mean that you don't love the person. It doesn't mean that you won't help him. It doesn't mean that you don't think thoughts about him. Right? You see somebody has a terrible personality, so pray for him. He should get better. Don't pray he should get run over by a car. Let's go. Look. Right? It's good because it's a half a face like yesterday. It keeps going. Al derech zeh, similarly, hachlatot tovot, the good decisions, resolutions. Okay, so now we know all the Jewish people are guarantors one for the other. All Jewish people are mixed in one to the other, and all Jewish people are sweetened one from the other. Right? If you learn to accept every Jew, then you become a little more sweet. You become a little more, I say, calm. You don't have to make that's where does Lashon Hora come from? Where does Lashon Hora? Lashon Hora means that you see something bad about a person, and it really is bad, and you go and you tell everybody about it. So you go and tell everybody about it. What happens? It's like you make a decision. This person is bad, and he's always going to be bad. This is him. And it's true. Lashon Hora is when you say a true thing. Anochi Hashem is when you say false things. Right? Lashon Hora is you say true things. You see this person, and he can't get along with others, and he's got a bad personality, and he's angry, he's a cheater, he's a liar. Right? You go and tell everybody, this guy's a liar, he's a cheater. I had an experience with this guy. Don't ask. He's terrible. He's awful. It's true, 100% true. Right? But when you said it out loud, so you made a decision. This is how he was, and this is how he's always going to be. Not good. That's true. That's how he was. Well, why is that always going to be? You want it to be that way. If he always stays that way, he stays like a bad guy. So then you've got him in his place, right? You're a little bit in control over here. It means I'm in control, but Hashem is not in control. If Hashem is in control, then Hashem wants you to fix this other guy up. Please pray for him. Think a good thought about it. It says all the Jews are sweetened up one from the other. Be positive yourself, and you'll see other people will be positive. Al derech zeh, similarly, not easy to do. It's easy to say, right? It's easy for me to say, but to do it is not so easy. Al derech zeh, similarly, hachlatos tovos, the good decisions that you make on the holiday of Shavuos, lahosiv, to add the limud of Torah and learning the Torah. Nigla, the Torah, the revealed Torah. Upaniyus of Torah, and the inside of the Torah. What's the inside of the Torah? Like Maimorim, Kabbalah, Midrash. The ad until Shiafutsu, there should be spread out. Ma'anotecha, your deep ideas, your wellsprings, chutza, outside. In other words, you should learn all the types of Torah, even the secrets of the Torah, as they're expressed in Chassidut, until everybody learns these deep ideas, even me, right? Even us. Who are we? Come on, we're Kabbalists. What are we learning these ideas? But we're learning them. We are. It's amazing, right? What type of generation is this? We're the lowest generation, and we're the lowest of the low. And here we're learning all these ideas about the four worlds, with Atzilus, things that people, right, in the previous generations, only like the great Kabbalists learned these ideas, and because of the Rebbe, everybody can learn it. Everybody can learn it. So on Shavuos, you should take it on yourself. I am going to learn more Torah. I'm going to learn the revealed Torah. I'm going to learn the concealed Torah. I'm going to learn the secret ideas. I'm going to try to understand things in my mind. Use my mind to understand the Torah. Until Yafutzo, that will be spread out. Ayanotecha, your deep ideas, chutza, out. Where did this come from, by the way? Where is this? Yafutzo, Ayanotecha, chutza? Very good. The Yafutzo, it's like they say the joke about the Hasidim. How do you know God created the world? How do you know? Because it says in the Tanya. It's the first pasuk in the Torah, right? No, in the Tanya it says the same thing. This pasuk is a sentence from Mishlei, from Proverbs. Yafutzo, Ayanotecha, chutza. But the Baal Shem Tov, when he was on Rosh Hashanah, so his soul went out of his body, and he had an experience, and he saw the Mashiach, and he said, Mashiach, when are you going to come? It's a long story, but finally the end is, the Mashiach said, when your deep ideas are spread out. So that's when Mashiach is going to come. Your deep ideas are the ideas of Hasidut, and when they're spread out, means everybody has some connection to that. Somebody learns it. Everybody learns it. That's what you should make a vow, a resolution, not a vow, a resolution. On the holiday of Shavuos, I'm going to learn more Torah. That's the holiday of the Torah. I'm going to learn more Torah. Kolel, including Gam, also, Hishtadlus, making an effort. La'argen, to arrange, Kinusei Torah, how do you say, Torah gatherings, where people say ideas of Torah, Be'isru Chag Shavuos, after the holiday of Shavuos. Zman Matan Torasenu, which is the time of the giving of our Torah. Or the Yamim and the days, Hasumuchim Lazeh, which are right after. In other words, after